Hey everybody, we are here with our All-Star edition, the All-Star break edition of the Check Rock podcast. We doing episode 6. We are here in the building with your usuals. We got moderator DJ A Squared. He's gonna be popping in and out of here. And we got Chip Green, and we always challenge you to do what, Chip?
Check rock.
We gonna get this thing rolling with the first question.
All right, the first question. Here we go. Who's the first half of the season MVP? I'll let you start off with that, Scoot.
All right, first half of the season MVP, I give it to Joel Embiid. He's doing everything for his team. He got his team first in the East, and he pretty much did everything this year, man. Hit his last game. They say your last game was your best game. He took it to overtime with the 3-pointer and won the game. And I give it to Joel Embiid right now, man. I don't think between Joel Embiid and it's Joel Embiid race to win right now. Like it's really his race to win. James Harden probably second right now because he switched. I mean, I can't null and void the first 10 games that he played with Houston Rockets where he just didn't care. I just can't write that off like that exists. So I'll give it to Joel Embiid first, and then LeBron second, then James is third right now.
No, you just said James was second, so he's third.
He's third, yes. LeBron's been playing the whole season, and LeBron's there. Like LeBron is right now is between Embiid, Bron. I'm giving James third. James probably stay at third the whole season because honestly, I don't think he has a chance to win. You can't force yourself out of a. I've never seen anybody get traded in the season and then win MVP. It just doesn't happen.
We've never seen nobody get traded in the season and then ball.
But you can't. The beginning of the season happens.
By the way, when you said, "Oh, he didn't care," he was putting up ridiculous numbers while he didn't care and looked like he was just out of shape. And then he gets in Brooklyn and it goes extra crazy. Extra crazy. What he's doing right now is unbelievable. He is first place in my book. Like, come on now. We gonna act like we ain't changing coast to coast. He do this every year. You getting cooked. And now he got talent around him and it's just going. So to me, all the people like you that wanted to get on and talking about, I just can't let that go, how he got out of here. He's smart enough to understand that. Listen, don't put me in no bad locker room, no bad tension, no nothing. Look, I gave y'all all I had. Let's be professional. I want to go. However it happened, it happened. I want to go. They apologize. He got his jersey retired. Hey, it's time to move forward. And that's what he's doing. Balling. Give him his credit for what he's doing on the court. There's no way he's third place. He's putting up historical numbers. By the way, hold on. That's more than his MVP season, by the way. You gotta let him, come on now. I can give you credit for all right, Embiid, but you're gonna talk about third? Come on now. Embiid is second. Embiid is definitely second. He's balling out his mind. Young guy. He want to take his place. He putting up his skill. They compared him to Shaq already. I ain't mad at him. He doing what he doing. And third place, it's Dame time, baby. And he should have got MVP tonight on honest tip. He should have got low-key. He should have got MVP tonight. But it's Dame time in third place right now. Balling right now. Balling. Going out his mind, and we just keep forgetting about it. Things like this, we forgetting. Dame balling out his mind. He in third place right now.
Okay. James Harden, first 10 games playing basketball this season. First 3 games, he had 44, 34, and 33. 21, 15, 16, 15, 20. Those games existed. Loss. 2 wins. That was the beginning of the season for him. He heated up when he got to the Nets. Those first 10 games existed. They existed. That's not something that didn't happen.
I'm not
arguing. Literally didn't play. Shooting percentages from the floor. Do I need to go to that? And I don't think you really want to do that. But I have him as a strong third, and he'll probably stay at third because at the end of the day, you can't force yourself out and get credit. Like he did it. He forced himself out to go play with a better team. I'm not mad at that.
How do you?
I'm not mad at that. But that's
How do you lose credit?
You force yourself. All right. Look, I have a thing. This is my thing when it comes to players, right? You are who you are when you're in a sense of uncomfortability. So if you're the guy that always forces yourself out of situations when you're in uncomfortable situations, which James really doesn't do that much.
So
he did that this. Let me finish. He did that this time. This season, you get credit for pushing yourself to a more comfortable position. You wanted to be in Brooklyn, you in Brooklyn. But at the same time, there's other dudes who sat there with their teams and rocked. Matter of fact, I might bump James down to fourth now. Because I would say Dame goes to third.
You out your mind. You out your mind. Bruh. Forcing yourself and you being professional to say, I don't want to play at this place.
It's not professional.
You don't sit there.
That's not professional.
That is very professional.
That's not professional to go live and tell, first and foremost, to go during the season and to decide to not show up to your job at training camp. That's not professional. Where in the world is professional not showing up to your job?
Where is professional slandering and character? That's not professional.
Party. I would slander if I'm your employer. I would slander your character too if you decide to go to a party instead of showing up to work.
That sounds really, really ridiculous, and that's why you get those things. And I got to do this so you can do that, so I can get out of here because I see that I can't work with you because that's the mentality. And now you got to see what you're missing.
If I'm your employer and I'm paying you,
I'm
paying you to do a job, Chip, and you decide I don't want to wait, hold on.
If you're my employer, you're gonna get fired once I'm gone.
If I'm
clean house. Yeah, you gotta have some.
You can't clean the employer's house because I own the building. The employer is the person who owns it.
I'm forcing his way out. We talking about what he's doing on the floor. What he's doing on the floor is historical. It's better than his.
It's not historical, Chip. It's been done before.
No. In his own MVP year, what he's doing has not just been done before. Don't just go saying that out.
It has been done before, Chip.
But it has not been done a lot before.
But it's been done. It's not history. History is the first time something happens. What is history? Yo, you killing me. Like, his history, something happens for the first time. That's history. Something being repeated is not historical. You just did something that's already been done.
Oh, be quiet. Last time I checked, if you go to the all-time scoring list, it's over like 20, it's over 25. So you all in history. You do know that, right?
There's only one leader.
You can be
a history. You have to break the record to have history.
No, that's your own history if you're like the number one. But historical means, it's going down in the history books. This is top 10 seasons ever. It's going in the history books.
It's not, because Brad Bill having a top 10 scoring season ever. He's doing everything that Michael Jordan doing, but it's not going down in no history book. Don't nobody care about what Brad Bill doing right now. James Harden to win a championship. Don't nobody care about what he did. I'm gonna be dead serious with you. Don't nobody care no more. Like that, them times is old. Them days is over with, bro.
Bradley Bill with Jay. Wait, stop, man. Just stop.
They're in the same sentence. They're in the same sentence.
They're nowhere near. What's wrong with you? What's wrong?
With the next question. Let's go next question.
Who dropped him today?
All right, we going question number 2. Blake Griffin is going to the Brooklyn Nets. Does this now make them the favorites in the East? Chip, you start this one off.
They was already the favorite. This doesn't make them the favorite. I guess I'm more intrigued about seeing what Blake Griffin is now. I mean, he's still. I mean, from his stats. I mean, he's a shell of himself from his stats. However, 12 points will help a team like Brooklyn when it's coming off the second unit. But I'm interested to see what he has. Like, we haven't really seen him in Detroit, and maybe he just needed to get out of there and get a fresh start. And I just want to see what he got. So, I mean, but it doesn't make them the favorites. I mean, I think they was already the favorites, in my opinion.
I'm one of the 25 people that watch Detroit play. Blake Griffin still could play. And I mean, I don't think Brooklyn was the favorites walking into the season. They weren't the favorites, but I mean, they backing themselves, and they have. I never thought of them to being a must win if they don't win the championship. It's a bust, but Blake helps, but I don't think he makes them a favorite. I think KD health is going to depend on if they're a favorite right now. Right now, I still don't think they could beat Philadelphia, and I still don't think without KD they could beat Milwaukee. And KD out because he's injured. That's the scary part about it. He's not out because he's resting. This man is injured.
We'll see when he's scheduled to play. I think he's scheduled to play what? He's sitting out the first game back, or is he playing the first game back?
There's no schedule. There's no docket on when he's coming back.
Oh, well,
like there hasn't been a Anwar, have you checked to see if there's a docket on him coming back?
He Chip, he keep moving the goalpost back.
Right.
They keep changing it every time he supposed to come back. They move it back a couple of games. So.
Right. So only time will tell what's going on with that. And by the way, James,
if he can't, if he stays hurt, they're not beating nobody. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're not beating nobody. If he can't play, they ain't beating nobody.
Okay.
They'll go out the second round. Like if he can't play, they going home second round.
Okay.
They just not built to play without him. They just ain't built. They're not built to win a championship without him. It's very just built to win a championship without him.
I agree. I agree with that. They're not built to win a championship without him. So
they're not even built to come out the East without him. They can't come out the East without him. Unless they play Boston in the second round or something, they can't come out the East without him.
I say can't. We done seen the Heat come out of the East, so I'm not gonna say can't.
He had their full roster. Everybody else didn't.
Up for grabs.
He had their full roster. Everybody else didn't. There ain't nobody walking to that bubble with their full roster but the Heat.
Yeah, that's okay. But I'm just saying it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs.
And then like the Heat just walked through the East. Like they came back from 20 like 5 or 6 times. So we ain't gonna just keep saying we seen the Heat. Well, we seen the Heat turn a whole bunch of games. Like it was a lot of circumstances that fell in the Heat lap to get past a couple teams.
But I do know James will walk through every last one of these guards on the East. James will walk right through him. And I do know that. I know
that it's 5 people on the floor for a reason.
That's cool, but they win games. They've been winning. They walking through people right now.
Yeah, they didn't play anybody in this run. They haven't played anybody.
Who told you that? They just ran through the whole West.
They didn't play anybody on this side. I'm talking about the East. They haven't played any East contenders since they played the Bucks.
Okay, and what they
didn't play any East contenders since they played the Bucks. And when they played the Sixers, them dudes canceled each other out. They didn't even play. Embiid didn't play. Huh?
What did they do to the Bucks?
Beat them by 4.
All right, they beat the Bucks.
They beat them by 4. They had to almost go to overtime.
What did they do to the Celtics?
And they had KD. They had KD those games too, right?
Who did the Celtics though?
They had KD those games, right?
Your question. That's all I just asked you.
No, I'm asking you, did they have KD?
Yes.
All right, then what are we talking about without KD, correct?
All right. No, we just talking about
these things are recorded. We said without KD, Chip.
All right.
I was gonna say without KD, I don't like. That's why they bringing in Blake Griffin. That's insurance for if KD just in case don't come back.
Okay.
That's insurance. Like he's gonna play backup 5 and he's gonna play 4.
All right, we're moving on. Question number 3. All right, what is everybody's thoughts on the Creighton University basketball situation, men's basketball situation? You starting this one off, Scooter?
He made some irresponsible comments and he got suspended, and that's it. That's fine with me. He apologized millions of times, and he shouldn't have the word plantation shouldn't have uttered it around his mouth around black kids. He got suspended for the year, and he's suspended pending. So I don't know what to do, but that school in Omaha, Nebraska, like I don't expect much from him. Like I really don't. And I mean, he recruits kids that wouldn't be going to Omaha, Nebraska if it wasn't for him recruiting them. So I don't know. Like I really don't know what to think about it. It's not a big thing on my radar because it's like he slipped up. He said something. I don't know if he has a history. And as far as I've been around, I recently just did some research. I talked to a couple dudes that I went on Twitter and DM'd a couple guys that used to play for him. And I asked them, like, how do you feel about him? And the guys gave me the comment. Point blank period. It was like, do you feel as though he's a racist? It's like, no. So how you feel about his comments? He's like, irresponsible, but no, not a racist. And he's a good dude. And I seen a couple of his player. I seen the player that just hit a 3. I seen that kid vouch for his character. So as far as his character, as far as the guys I know, like, and I actually sat there and DM'd these guys and talked to one guy, and I was like getting his response and getting him to speak on other guys. I went there and he said he honestly does not have, him and the coach don't have, because of things that happen that's non-associated to basketball, they don't have a relationship anymore. And he said the coach actually still sends him packages and checks up on him, but he said he don't really mess with the coach anymore after that. But he said he don't got him as a racist. He said he doesn't pin him as a racist and tag him as a racist. So I figure a year suspension for this season is enough for right now, and they need to revisit it eventually and see what they could do.
Okay. I agree with the suspension. I mean, I can't be mad at the suspension or anything like that. But he was totally out of line. And the suspension I want to know what's in the suspension. Like, is it just a suspension, you ain't coaching no more? Or is it a suspension where you got to be involved in the charity that you just built and you need to really get a psycho evaluation for even thinking that you can continue to talk like that? That's not a word that you ever use. That is never a plantation. You can't leave the plantation. What? You never mess with the mind that way. So if you think you can do that on some kids and be in control of some kids, you have a problem. You have an issue. And that really needs to be checked while you're on your suspension. And yes, they do need to revisit it when it's time to come. But I also think that it's a moment where you can get some valuable teaching lessons of how to start the conversation. This is one way of how you start the conversation about zero tolerance when it comes to racism and when it comes to coming down like that on Black boys. It's a no-no. It's a no-no. So let's get some understanding, like I've been saying for weeks, that word right there, understanding, that it's going to be a zero tolerance when it comes to speaking that way to young boys. You don't do that. Let's do better and let's be better. So let's understand how we get there.
Yeah, I just don't want to see, like, okay, Pat Chambers just got fired for saying, what did he say? He said something about a noose, and he actually recruited a lot of kids from Philadelphia. Pat Chambers, coach from Penn State, he got fired for saying a noose. So if Pat Chambers is getting fired, most likely Greg McDermott is going to get fired next. He's probably fired too.
Well,
I just don't. I'll be real. Like, Penn State wasn't bringing a whole flock of Black kids to Happy Valley before Pat Chambers. So, and there wasn't a whole bunch of Black kids that went to Penn State and got to play at Penn State and was getting offered scholarships from Penn State. He was bringing in a whole flock of kids and getting an opportunity to go to Penn State and go use their university as a leap board for life. So it's like, I'm on the fence, because do you get fired for your words, or
yes,
if it's understanding, should it be understanding on both sides? All right, I made a mistake. Let's revisit it. I've been talking like this all my life. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to talk like this.
You do know you're not supposed to talk like this. It's the 21st century. What's wrong with you?
If you live in Omaha, Nebraska, you talk like some people talk like that.
Boy, you better
like that.
You better think. Think right now. Get a conscious mind. Get a conscious mind, man. What's wrong with you?
Shit. Everybody don't live around Black people, bro.
Say what?
Everybody don't use the same slang or live around Black people.
What are you?
Creighton didn't recruit a whole bunch of Black kids before McDermott got there.
Recruiting Black kids, you should understand, but you still need to understand humanity, bro.
And that's why people make mistakes. So can you understand that somebody makes a mistake?
Like that you're not trying to
wait, hold on. So we gotta understand that humanity, but when somebody makes a mistake, humanity goes out the window. So it's like F them, like
you can't apologize without action, is what I'm telling you. You acting like, oh, it's just a slap on the wrist, it's not that deep. Yeah, that's what they say when Lil Trayvon got shot when he had Skittles. It wasn't that deep. And that's why he walked off. And if you don't have Black men speaking up for Black boys, you have lost your mind. You have lost your mind. When I thought of it, the first thing I thought about was me at any age, from middle school all the way up to high school to college. Like, how would I have responded to that? Boy, you tripping. I would have went off on that coach. You tripping.
And that would have been fine by me too.
But it's not fine, because it can be handled by addressing it right now. Zero tolerance. This is how you stop it.
First and foremost, how did the locker room leak?
Say what?
How did the comments from the locker room leak?
He said he came out.
I'm asking you. So wait, why did he come out?
They said that he apologized.
No, don't use they. Don't use they.
You don't
wait. Don't use they. Stays on the playground. You have to say who says this. Why did this leak out?
Excuse me. I don't have to say nothing. Did you just not sit here and say, "Oh, I DM'd somebody"?
No, I said I DM'd the player from Creighton that I will leave unnamed right now. I'm not saying they. I'm saying I'm using sources. I DM'd the player that played for Creighton under Coach McDermott. I did not say they. I said a player from Creighton. I sat there and talked to him on FaceTime today.
Sleep on you.
And I leave his name unmarked and unnamed.
I'm not talking about with the boys in Center Thursday. I'm talking straight up like this is common sense that you need to have.
It's not common sense.
It's common sense.
It's not common sense for everybody. It's not common sense for everybody.
You're just not conscious of it, and that's all.
I'm very conscious of everything, but it's not common sense for everybody.
You conscious about everything, but this right here, I'm not conscious about. I really have no thoughts about it.
No, I don't. I said he got. I didn't say I had no thoughts about it. Did I say I had no thoughts? I said he got suspended for the year. It needs to be revisited after he's been suspended by the year. It needs to be revisited. It needs to go back. Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me finish my statement. It needs to be backtracked. Somebody needs to interview. Somebody needs to interview alumni. Somebody interviews guys that play for him and see if there's going to be a vouch for his character or there's going to be not a vouch for his character. If there's vouch for his character that said these things have happened previously, no, he needs to be walked out the door. But if this is a one-time incident, that this is the first time it ever said, and he's being responsible and then going to the media and jumping in front of everybody and saying, no, I did wrong. What are we really saying now?
I have no choice but to do that.
No, you don't. You do have a choice because you could tell everybody in that locker room to shut up and mind your business.
No, because you
just came out in the locker room. You can say anybody leaked this to the media. You ain't playing no more.
Did you not see him? Did you not see these kids what they said on their response?
They said a speech. I seen this kid. I seen the one kid who didn't have the speech.
One thing you named.
No, you read the quote. I watched the video.
So hold on. Why won't you say the quote then?
The whole quotes came from an interview. Not even an interview. Hold on, Chip. It wasn't quotes. They were speaking on a big screen, on a large screen, from a speech that they had to say one by one. They didn't all say their own words and comments. They had a speech that was written for them one by one that they said on a Megatron.
The article that I sent you was
the article that you sent me was excerpts from the speech that they said in the thing. They took quotes from that speech. Okay. See, I did investigative journalistic work today.
So therefore, you see how it was lined up. This is how we're going to do this for this recovery.
And they held hands, and they all held hands and held arms and did a speech about it. Right. Somebody wrote the speech for those kids. Hold on. That's not their words.
I told you when this first happened how they was going to handle this. Remember we had this conversation.
That's not their words, Chip. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying those words were not their words. They were words from a speech. The press did not interview these kids one by one and get quotes from each of these kids one by one. The one kid they interviewed, the one kid that spoke for the whole team, not just himself. He said, Coach McDermott will take a bullet, not only for me, but for everybody on this team. So if a kid says that a coach will take a bullet for him, because I ain't never had a coach that'll take a bullet for me.
Hey, Anwar, I'm the Anwar. Did I not tell you how they was going to do this procedure last week? Did I not say this the last time? Like, yo, they're not going to talk to those kids and ask them the real questions of how they feel.
I actually agree with everything they did. The man said something. He got in trouble for it. Mm-hmm. Suspended. Mm-hmm. You do a crime, you pay your time, you keep it moving.
Okay. So what do you? So in this suspension is just all good. Like, all right.
After his suspension is over?
No, I'm saying like, do he have to do anything in that suspension, or is he just suspended and he can't be around?
I mean, they can have their stipulations of their suspension. Okay. One thing I tell you that you said that might have been a little crazy. Don't nobody need no damn psych evaluation.
The psych evaluation. Hey, they play with our mind all the time.
Yeah, that might be a little much right there. And I'm only gonna say this. When you look at the group that he said that to, it's not like it's a room full of black boys that he said this comment to. They're sprinkled in here. They're right here in front of your face. It's 4 of them. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That you never say it to. That you never even say.
But let's understand before we go out there and hang this man like he went into a room full of black people and said this. That's not what happened. He made a mistake, man. And this is my thing. And this is my thing, Chip. And this is what you always got to remember because you're screaming a lot of black man, black man, black man. You know who makes a lot of mistakes in this country? Black men. And what they do to us is they put us in jail and then nobody ever gives them another chance. And that's one thing that's always bothered me about the way we're treated. So let me tell you what I'm never going to do. I can't complain about what I don't want and then yet put it on someone else. Meaning, I got to have some degree of, if you mess up, we need to give you another chance, because I've been screaming that for people who look like me for a very long time.
But is that what we're saying? That I don't think any of us disagree with the suspension. So we're definitely not saying anything else.
But no, then we have to let him be suspended, serve his time, and then go on with his career in life. And if he don't make another mistake, then he made a mistake. Bro,
Okay.
if you go to the prisons, it ain't a bunch of career criminals in there. It's a whole lot of people that made one mistake.
Hey, I know a lot about the prisons.
So you know it's a bunch of people in there that made one mistake. They in there for the one bad day in their life.
I completely understand all that.
All right, so you gotta have some. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Get them, but at the same time, you gotta have some bit of.
I think if we all agreeing on it's a suspension, we all have some understanding that all right, we forgive you, but that don't mean that
no. But just because we say just because we say we agree with the suspension, I don't have to forgive you for what you said. No, you made a mistake, you messed up.
Yeah, forgiven. First of all, forgiven is only for these people right here in this room.
Yeah.
They're the ones who have to forgive or not forgive. The rest of us are playing the outside.
They're just observers.
Absolutely. And somebody.
So I mean, and that's also that's a they thing. That's their thing, bro. You know what I mean? That's literally. And then honestly, it's really for those 5 gentlemen right there in that coach.
You ain't gonna hear nothing from them, but okay.
We already heard one kid spoke for the whole team. Usually they have a team captain speak for the whole team. That's what they do. Because I was one of those on mostly every team I was on. I was a team captain, and I always had to speak for the team.
And I guess what I'm saying is, even if one of them is thoroughly devastated, he still has to accept the man got a punishment for his words, and we got to move on, whether you choose to forgive or not.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And the one thing I don't want to do is start putting people's lives in the same level of words. You mentioned Trayvon Martin in the same level of words.
Right. You can't tell me how to feel about that.
I mean, that's your feelings.
Yeah.
That's your feelings, but when you constantly stand on the mantle of civil rights and all that stuff like that, there does become a difference of fights. Some fights we don't have to always fight, because it's like some fights is not. This is a private entity. Like, we can have a choice. You don't have to go to Creighton.
Hey, you don't have enough. You can never tell another black man how he's supposed. Oh, that's some fights we just.
I didn't tell you how to. I'm just saying we don't have to fight every fight. I didn't tell you what to do.
No. Matter of fact, that's exactly what I tell black men all the time.
Yeah, well, you can tell them, but you
pick and choose what you want to fight. Some of these fights ain't worth it, bro.
This one ain't worth it, because at the end of the day, we don't need to send our kids to Omaha, Nebraska.
Say what?
We don't need to send our children.
All these things that you're referring to right now. Trayvon's was a life matter. It had nothing to do with choice. These kids don't have to be a Creighton. They can go somewhere else. It's not like this is something that is everyday do or die death. It's college basketball.
But this do happens.
We can we can do without college basketball. Period. It's a leisure.
We can do without college basketball at all.
It's a leisure time thing. So this all. I find the comparison that's a little rough too, bro.
Yeah.
That's like almost like hurting. That's almost like his family would look at it like.
No,
it's trivialized. Those two things can't be on the same level. Somebody died and somebody made a language faux pas. Like,
but that is.
And the thing is, hold on, wait. Before we end this,
over talking me.
Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
If you disrespect anybody on that term and you mess with a younger kid's mind, and you don't understand, we talk about how it's meant to, how basketball is so meant to. This is one of the mental ways they mess with your mind. And I told you before, you have never been.
Well, one question then, real quick, and I'm gonna let you finish. One question. So what you're telling me is this was done on purpose?
I can't hear you.
I said, so what you're telling me is this was done on purpose then?
What you think it wasn't calculated?
Okay.
You think he just lost his cool and said that? What's wrong with you? It's
I'm-
very
I'm-
calculated. Ain't nothing.
You're right. I'm
man.
out the conversation.
Ain't nothing
Y'all got it.
He said what he said, and it's how y'all gonna react to it. And you get whatever reaction come, and you getting a reaction out of me, or you getting a reaction that you was looking for. But you know exactly what you said. Think he just he mumbled it? No. That's why he said it twice. In case you ain't hear it in the back.
We're gonna move to question 4.
Or
Will Utah sustain their run to have the best record in the NBA?
Go ahead, Chip.
after watching him in the All-Star game tonight, no, I don't think they have the best record in the NBA. I do think that they will be a contender, though. I think they have a heck of a run in the beginning of the season, and they benefited of staying healthy for the most part. But I don't think they're finished with the best record in the NBA.
Okay. According to ESPN, the top 5 easiest remaining schedules of the second half of the season. Number 1 is Utah. Utah will have the best record at the end of the season. They play their opponents' winning percentage are 47% since February 23rd that they play. So they're playing a lot of bad teams. They will have the best record in the NBA.
All right.
I'm almost like 100% sure. If I could put the money on it in Vegas, I would put the money on it in Vegas. I'm pretty sure they will have the best record.
It's a way, but I don't think they will. But we still
the two number one teams in the NBA at the end of the All-Star, at the end of the season, will be Brooklyn Nets and the Utah Jazz. Just because the Brooklyn Nets have the first easiest remaining schedule goes to the Utah Jazz. The second easiest remaining schedule is the Nets. Most likely, unless both of them teams fall on their face, they will have the best 2 records in the NBA.
So basically, do you think Brooklyn won't? You don't think Brooklyn won't catch the Jazz?
No.
Okay.
They're way behind them now.
Since you like recording right there, we'll revisit it.
Way behind them now. I don't think they catch them as the number 1 team. In the
But they only 3 games behind them, 4 games.
I have no idea. Hold on, I'm check.
Yeah,
but I don't think they catch them. They got the Utah has the worst, has the easiest schedule.
Yeah, but
24-13. Utah 27-9.
Right. So they 4 games behind them.
That's a lot of games.
Okay. We'll revisit
games.
We will. Who's third? That's a good list, though. Who's third?
Sixers and Lakers that did it.
Sixers and Lakers. I don't know if the
Sixers got a better record than Sixers got the best record in the East. But I think Brooklyn's going to break that, going to jump Sixers because they have the worst schedule. Sixers got the 6th easiest schedule at the second half of the season. So they play some good games. Brooklyn and Utah don't have no good games. So I think Utah probably going to be the number 1 seed. Got the best play. They got the best plays in the NBA. Regular season all about plays. Don't nobody guard nobody doing nothing. Utah going probably be the best team in the NBA.
That'll be huge.
And they'll probably lose in the second round. It won't matter.
You got them losing in the second round or the first round.
It won't matter. Second round. They ain't gonna lose first round. First, whoever they play in the first round will be going to have to play in a playing game. So they're not going to lose in the first round.
But like Dallas in the first round.
Whoever they have to play in they can beat Dallas by 20 every game. Whoever they play is going to come from the playing game and have to play them. I see them beating them teams. Golden State, they'll probably beat Golden State easy too. Golden State going to have to play in the playing game. It's 7 through 10 in the play-in.
Yeah, so you think you
so who was going to have all those teams play all them Memphis, Dallas, all them teams they pretty much beating in the play-in.
So you got Utah beating the Warriors in the first round if they play.
There's only so many 60-point games Steph Curry got in him, bro.
All right.
There's only so many of them that he got. It's a lot. Unless James Harden could come back west, they try to beat everybody out west in the first round. unless they're not healthy. If they're not healthy, everything goes out the door. If any of their players go down, everything goes out the window. So a healthy Utah Jazz against any of those 7-10 teams, they beating them. Second round, they probably be done after that.
All right,
They get past second round, all bets is off.
We're gonna see. Hey, right on this is gonna be a crazy season. This is gonna be a crazy second half. Things is tight. It's gonna get real competitive. It's gonna be really fun to watch.
They just allow dudes to have 17 players on. I think they allow teams to have 17 players on your roster. This season been BS, yo. This season really been BS.
Well,
because everybody's sick or hurt every other game. Everybody's been sick. But you have players sitting out. You got players sitting out the All-Star game because they sick.
No,
nobody playing no defense. Defense at the all-time low.
Who's sitting out the All-Star game because they sick?
Ben and Embiid are playing the All-Star game because of health protocols.
They came in protocol.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This has been the worst. It's been the most trash season I've seen in a long time, yo. This trash, yo. NBA been trash this year, yo. I'm gonna be real with you because nobody can play. Nobody has any rapport. Utah is number one because they always got the players. Everybody else has key injuries because the turnaround of the season happened so fast. Anthony Davis was playing on a bad wheel from the finals into the season. Now he hurt. KD hurt again. It's been bad. It's not good. It's not a good product. Nobody closing out. Shots is at an odd score. Everybody is 40 dudes in the NBA average 20 points. It's 40 dudes in the NBA average 20 points because nobody's playing. Like, I never said this before. Nobody playing defense this year. Nobody playing defense this year.
You can't say that nobody's playing defense. Again,
I've been researching it. It's really at an all-time low. Nobody's playing defense. I researched this. Like, you telling me like I can't say it, and I researched it, and dudes are not playing defense this season.
All right.
They are. Like, you fighting numbers right now. Like, I'm gonna start throwing. Let me throw numbers.
In the leagues, you gotta look at it this way. Look at it from a different perspective. How can you say that they're not playing any D if you're not letting them play D? If everything is a foul and a flagrant foul, how much do you want them to try to play?
They're not even closing out.
Losing teams are not closing out.
All the teams are not closing out.
Okay.
The only team that's closing out right now is probably the Utah Jazz.
The
only team that's closing out and caring about defense right now. It's probably the Utah Jazz, honestly.
Little team. Hey, good teams closing out. Toronto closes out. They play hard. Toronto play hard every night. That's why they in the AFC. They just play hard every night. It's certain teams that just play hard. Utah's one of them teams that just play hard every night.
All right, fellas. Moving on to question 5, right? Yeah, question 5. Which team is most likely to make a big trade before the deadline? Chip, I think this is on you.
I want to say Denver for some reason. Like, I just feel like they got guys that they can move and get some type of star. I think they should make a move to get a star. And I also think LA should make some type of move to get the 5 they need next to Anthony Davis so they can make sure they keep him healthy. But it's gonna be again interesting to see. The moves that's going to be, I don't think it's going to be a lot of stars on the move this year, but it's going to be a lot of good quality players and pieces that's going to move. And that can be something that can really help another team, a contending team at that.
I think the Sixers are the team that's most likely going to make a trade at the deadline. I don't think it's going to be a big trade, but I think they're going to add some pieces somehow, some way. They do this every deadline. So Lakers probably added, every LeBron team never set a trade deadline out. So LeBron definitely going to make a trade. You're going to add some pieces. And Sixers going to add some pieces. I believe those two teams would be the teams that would add pieces. I believe Orlando Magic is going to throw the hats in and digress and say, yo, we're not going to be good this year. This is a bad year to be good. And this is a good year to be bad, honestly, because it's a good draft pool this season. It's a lot of kids you could pick from, and there's a lot of pieces you could get. So I think Orlando Magic probably going to be a seller. I think it's going to be a good buyer's market. And if you're a seller, it's going to be a good seller's market because you'll be able to, it's going to be a bad seller's market because you're not going to get anything back. if you're selling right now. Like if you're selling, you're not getting anything back. That's why a lot of teams aren't selling. The Sixers are allegedly, through all the rumor blogs, none of the good blogs are saying they're going after Zach LaVine. All the rumor blogs are like just putting them in with Zach LaVine. I haven't seen any good blogs that put them in with Zach LaVine, but I really don't understand what the Sixers have to give up of value for Zach LaVine.
Right.
I don't understand.
I can't see Zach LaVine.
But I heard Evan Fournier is going to be on. I heard Evan Fournier, Vucevic, and I heard only the whole roster is up, except for probably Markelle Fultz. The whole roster, and Markelle Fultz, Isaac, and Mo Bamba. But I think Orlando whole roster is up for trade.
But that's the thing. That's the crazy part that I have with Orlando. Is like they're not even playing Bamba though.
I wouldn't play him either. I got an all-star at this position. Yeah,
I guess so. If you trade them, like I don't know what's going to happen with Gordon, but I do know Isaac was balling before the injury. So I don't know if they're going to move Gordon or hold on to him to another year. I know they just paid him like last year or something like that, but I thought they should have made moves last year to really get better. And it's just unfortunate that they lost Fultz this year. So that they definitely probably are in the sellers market. I can see that for sure.
I think Aaron Gordon contract about to come up. Hold on, I think he's about to come up. But yeah, I think they understand. I think they're one of the teams that's going to sell high. Anwar, who you think? You think anybody's selling high this year?
Nah.
You don't think nobody's selling?
Not nobody of importance. I mean,
you know what the team is? You know what the team that I'm going to keep an eye on? The Dallas Mavericks.
They trying to trade Porzingis.
The Dallas Mavericks. They can make a huge splash. But
Dallas need to be calling Minnesota to see if they can get Karl-Anthony Towns for Porzingis. That's what they need to be doing.
That'd be crazy.
They try to trade Porzingis to.
They definitely been trying to trade Porzingis.
Get the PlayStation.
Him and Luka do not play well together. They have like the worst out of any combo in the NBA. They got the worst scoring percentage out of anybody.
Porzingis is just not active enough for me.
He's 7'4". How active you want him to be?
What do you mean? He's 7'4", active. Like
you only come up so fast when you're 7'4".
Yeah, but I mean, Joker not fast neither, but he know how to move.
Joker not 7'4",
but he's still 7 foot.
He's 7'4".
You do realize a 6 footer and a 6'4" person are totally different. So is a 7 footer and a 7'4" person.
Like as big as I am, I still move different places that Anwar can't move as a 6'6".
What I'm saying to you is like basketball movement, like Joker know how to play with his back to the basket. He know how to face it.
That's not his game.
But he not. I'm just saying he just looked real limited. He's not active enough for me. He
limited. He's far from. You're right. I'm bad.
When he say limited, also Rick Carlisle limits him because Rick Carlisle doesn't post him up.
A 7'4" dude that shoots 3-pointers, dribbles to the basket, and dunks on people. You just called him limited.
Yeah, he ain't been doing that this year. That's what I mean. He ain't been doing that this year. He ain't been putting on the floor doing nothing. Like
Luka got the ball in his hand all game.
He'll post up. He'll shoot over top, but he's not really putting on the floor no more with no movements. He just straight no special effects. That's what I mean. He's not active. Like I understand his game. What his game once was ridiculously crazy, and he was really all around. But right now he's just limited.
I'm gonna name you 2 names on that roster: Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic. Luka probably the highest. Luka might be in the top 5 in usage. So there's nowhere Porzingis can dribble the ball at. So I think they're smart for trading Porzingis because it's not a yin and yang matchup. Porzingis need to handle the ball and do a little bit of stuff off the bounce, and I can't get it off the bounce if my point guard got the ball all game, and he's not going to give it to nobody till they need a shot.
Well, I told y'all this before about how maybe you should figure out how you use Luka differently to make it work, but maybe it's too late for it, and maybe they do get rid of him. But we all just talked about what his game once was, and we're clearly not seeing that right now this year. Like it's really straight up and down, and if I push you up, I'm just gonna shoot over top of you. Like I don't see no real movements. Maybe he's just not really healthy. Maybe he's just not there. I don't know. But it is gonna be intriguing about if they move him or keep him.
Luka's second highest in usage this season.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's nothing in in
And
the
then,
cards that says that what's it
and
called? Triple.
then, and then the AC is tough.
Yeah, I mean they just not good. Like it's not Luka fault. It's not nobody's fault. Like they can't make shots. They one of the few teams that ain't been making shots this season. Tim
Mhm.
Hardaway Jr. is shooting a career low.
Mhm.
The kid Richardson ain't been playing like that. He been out for COVID. Everybody been out for COVID, and
Yeah,
Porzingis come back.
that's a tough style to play. That's a real tough style to play if you ain't got an up tempo guard. If you are a half court system guard and you only play that way, it kind of make y'all predictable.
They've been playing like that since they won a championship, though.
No, they have not. No. No. Not even close.
They didn't play up tempo with Dirk.
Say what?
They never played up tempo with Dirk.
Right, but they didn't dominate the ball with one person. That ball moved. And Dirk got off it and got it back.
Yeah, they played the same.
Went to work.
Guess what? You don't got a Jason Terry. You don't got a Sean Marion. You don't got a.
Brunson,
the year that they won a championship, the ball was dominated. You do remember Jason Kidd?
Jason Kidd was the point guard, and nobody else played point guard.
And got it
Jason
back.
Kidd has never moved the ball in his life. He moves the ball, but he's also a ball dominator like Chris Paul.
He's going to get the ball back. He's going to be able to start your offense and get it back.
I get what you're saying, but
that's
what you originally said is they wasn't having anybody, and they did. They had somebody who dominated the ball. Jason Kidd dominated every basketball on every team he was on.
No. What I mean by dominate the ball is have the ball for 15 to 16 seconds in the shot clock. When you don't need
Luka hasn't really been doing that this season. Okay. If you really watch him, he hasn't really been doing that. He's dominating the usage rate because he swings the. What he does is, I watch their games. He'll swing it to the wing, or he'll have Jalen Brunson bring the ball up, and then what happens is he'll show in the post, and the ball will go right back to him in the post, or the ball will go back to him in the corner, and then they swing around, and then he'll make the option or the read or whatever has to happen. But that's going on because they don't have anybody else to put the ball in his hand. You want the ball to go.
We need to move on this question.
All right.
We got way off of a
trade.
Who's making a trade? We talking about Dallas individually.
We talking about the whole offense of Dallas.
All right. Lloyd Pierce. Lloyd Pierce got fired from the Hawks. How we feel about that? Right or wrong? Go ahead, Scoop.
Wrong. Lloyd Pierce ain't get a chance. He's been there for 2 seasons. He was in there. He's about to be in there for 3.5. The first season they bought. See, I don't be understanding. You bought a coach off of Brett Brown's staff because you planned on tanking. You planned on being bad. So you bring Lloyd Pierce here because he knows how to handle a situation with young players and to let them mature and to let them grow. You give him 2 draft classes with kids, a whole roster full of kids. In his 3rd season, you give him Rondo, Gallinari, Clint Capella, and then expect them to just run off wins from the rip and just run off and take off in the East and just beat everybody and be 4th or 5th seed. These things take time. You have 19 and 21-year-olds. Kids 19 and 20 don't know how to win. It's rare that kids 19, 20, 21. Oklahoma City only happened once. I've seen most of these teams be bad. And I don't see no Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, or James Harden on this roster. So you have to give these kids some time to mature and get better. Like it was dead wrong. And I seen Rick Carlisle come out and say it was wrong. And there was a couple other coaches that came and protested. Was like, it was BS. Like, what would you even bring me here for the job for? You might as well sign me to a 2-year deal and didn't give me a 3rd. Like, you might as well did that. It didn't make any sense. It made no sense. And this is why Atlanta Hawks is always going to be the Atlanta Hawks.
From that standpoint, I totally agree with what you're saying about how he didn't have enough time. But from another standpoint, I thought the pieces was in play where they are below schedule right now. They are below standards right now where they should be, expectations of where they should be, especially getting the veteran point guard. And it's just, I think it's time to get some things cleaned up. And I think they got a guy in there who is more than capable of cleaning it up and taking it to another level of where it's supposed to be. And maybe that's what they felt. Now, how they did it and went about it and when they went about it, that definitely could have been inconsiderate. That definitely could be wrong, and I can understand that. But replacing them with a guy like Nate, who's been doing a good job, a steady job for for some time now in this league. I think it could be good for Atlanta and good for Trey, and hopefully they could blossom from it. They do got some young, good talent. Hunter is really good, so I'm interested to see what happens from them from this far now. Like I picked them to be in the playoffs, and they're below that right now. They need to pick it up.
DeAndre Hunter ain't been playing either. He's been hurt too. So has Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo only played 20 games. And he plays 15 minutes a night. So he didn't even get a chance to coach the pieces that y'all put together. Gallinari started off hurt in the beginning of the season. Bogdan ain't played yet. Bogdan ain't been playing.
He just came back.
Yeah, while the coach was fired.
Yeah, Bogdan just came back.
I never got to coach him. So how you fire me for something? Like, is it right or wrong? Like, I said it was wrong. Is it right or wrong?
You're hearing stories about Collins and Trae Young not getting along. I mean, it could be rumors or whatever, but if it's true, you gotta put that out, and it gotta be a culture where it gotta be the right spot. And like I said, they in a good position where they're supposed to go somewhere. They're not supposed to be.
They're not supposed to do anything. They don't have no proven record of anything.
But they got proven guys in there, and when they put the proven guys in there, they got to meet expectations for those guys that they have.
We've been there. I didn't get to coach them, so how I even get these expectations if I didn't get to coach them?
You coached them all. I mean, you coached whatever.
I didn't coach them this season.
I'm not.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Who exactly, once I take Rajon Rondo out of this equation, is these established guys that prove they've done it before? You said once you get past Rondo, who are these established guys? Who are these established guys that have done it before?
Capella been in the playoffs. Capella been in the playoffs. Capella.
Bro, don't ever use Clint Capella as a guy that you're throwing up to me as this is why we should be doing something.
No,
because honestly, every dude that you're gonna name to me has lost consistently in his career. Go ahead, name them.
But they've been into the playoffs.
Who?
They've been to the playoffs. Capella and Gallinari.
Gallinari been in the playoffs like twice in like 12 years.
Gallinari been in the playoffs twice in his whole career.
Hey,
two times.
One of them was last year.
Yeah, yes. And it's not like he takes teams to the playoffs. He's usually hurt and ends up in the playoffs. Who are these well-established guys that have done it before that you're talking about?
I'm just saying, like,
you talking about Gallinari, Bogdanovich, and Capella?
Hey, you add that to the roster what you had last year, in the playoffs.
Bro.
I'm just saying, look, they work Charlotte right now.
I understand that I understand you got to make this argument, but that's what you making this argument with? You can't make I don't even know what basketball argument you could ever make with those three dudes.
I'm just saying, I ain't trying to argue.
I'm saying we just saying, was it right or wrong? That's all we saying. I think it was dead wrong.
And you also real picky and choosy about when to start defending the black man. That's all I'm going to say. you ain't got nothing for this black man who just lost his gig.
I ain't said no. I said, I mean, the way Scooter put it in there, I can understand that. Like, that's wrong on that part. Like, you fire him like that, you ain't really give him a. He got 2 years. We seen worse. Like, he got 2 years, and they replaced him with Nate. But I think it's shady that they had Nate on the staff and probably already knew that they was gonna make that move in the beginning.
Yeah, like I don't feel better for one dude because he canceled the other black dude. Right. I think they'll try to do that to me, so I feel no type of way.
Right, that's shady. That's
because I get like who's ever gonna be mad when you say, "Well, we got Nate McMillan." It's like, all right, that's cool. We all mess with Nate. We know what Nate brings to the table.
Yeah, but they wrong. But
I look at it this way. Only issue I got is Nate always gonna have a job, in my opinion. Let Lloyd Pierce rock out and actually become an established coach, and y'all kind of made it seem like this dude doesn't know what he's doing, and it seems like they do that to us. They did that to Fizdale.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? To make it seem like we don't know how to coach, but
right.
They let some of these other dudes fall on their face.
Right.
And then get another job after that.
You know, the ones that don't look like us.
And this my thing. Ryan Saunders just got treated this bad. Lloyd Pierce got treated this bad. Ryan Saunders is young, and I equivalent youth with our situation. I'm always going to cheer for the young guy, and I'm always going to cheer for the black guy. And I think both of them got unfairly ousted because let me develop with my team. Like Lloyd Pierce came in, and the thing is making it hard because these guys wouldn't get jobs. They wouldn't get jobs in other situations. So they have to take the worst situation possible. But if you know I'm taking the worst situation possible, give me a chance to fix it and create it and make something good. This is why these teams stay bad. That's why Atlanta Hawks stay bad for long periods of time before they stay teetering, like they stay in the middle sometimes. They be really bad, but it's like
they're a bad thing. They're a bad thing.
It's
they had a nice little run a couple years ago because they had some good players, but
historically, and they don't. There's no Atlanta Hawk culture. There's no anything in Atlanta Hawks, and that's because you don't have any. Even Budenholzer, like, why'd you get rid of? Why Budenholzer leave? Why'd y'all have Budenholzer out of there?
Well, didn't he go to Milwaukee?
They fired him.
They fired him and decided to tank and bring in Lloyd Pierce, and they said we need a play on being bad. Like, that makes no sense. Like, how do you? I can get anybody to coach a bad team.
Well, you know, now you know why they did what they did.
That's the problem, because you go get the black man to do that.
Right. Now you know why they did.
We got one more question, fellas.
Go ahead.
All right, question 7. Who's surprise teams of the first half?
I'm first.
You go ahead.
The Charlotte Bobcats. Well, sorry, the Charlotte Hornets. Goodness. Oh, man.
Like who?
Right.
They apologize. So them a long time ago.
Shout out to MJ. Yo. Go ahead and have they in there balling. Hey, you know, young Mello out there acting a fool. He doing his thing night in, night out, and it's been a joy to watch. Scary Terry, he's been balling all heart, man. They've been fun to watch. Miles Bridges. I like to see them make a splash during this break and add some pieces, because I think they really got a legit chance to make a good playoff push. And they will be fun to watch in the postseason if they made it. So I hope they do go get what they need and continue to win and be a breath of fresh air to the NBA.
My surprise team don't have a losing record. You know, Charlotte got a losing record, right?
That's all right.
They 17-18.
17-18.
That's a surprise that they got a losing record.
Yo, no, it's a surprise.
They supposed to be losing way worse. I get it. But my surprise team is Utah Jazz. I ain't picked them to be number one, and they probably gonna be the number one overall team for the whole season. So they're number one in the first half. I didn't pick them to be number one for the first half. I don't know nobody in the world that picked them. I got two surprise teams though. Phoenix Suns, they're a surprise team because they're number 2.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, they're number 2 in the West, and they got number 2 off of, like, they got the same record as the Lakers and the Phoenix and the Clippers, but they got 2 less losses.
Right.
So we have to see if they sustain, which I don't know if they sustain, because I think they're gonna have locker room problems coming up soon. I seen little things happen and little things that was going on, little words being said, and I don't think that locker room. So I don't think that them dudes is in love with each other right now. But we'll see. Huh?
Who said it?
I didn't say anything. I just watch them talk. They argue a lot.
It's basketball.
Yeah, we'll see. There's one dude that follows a lot of things. Had chemistry problems in previous places, and he having chemistry problems there too. But I mean, both Utah and Phoenix. I'm sorry, they both prime for second round knockouts. Like I hate doing this just to be talking about a team. But Utah and Phoenix, they both tough. But I think they both go home in the second round.
You think they both go home in the second round?
Yeah, they both go home in the second round. Unless they play each other, then one of them got to advance.
I think like it's the West, so you already know in the West anybody is capable of knocking out anybody. So right now it's just all about where you see it and who you gonna play.
I don't know if anybody capable. I don't know. I think I got Golden State being an exercise of futility and stuff, shooting a lot of shots. Because I don't think they got enough to beat anybody in 4 games. Like, to win 4 games in a row. I don't know how hot one player can get to just get you 4 games. Because I've seen T-Mac do it a lot. He get real hot, but when you just don't have the guys with you, I just don't think he has the guys with him to beat any top-notch team.
But I mean, a team that's not used to being like Phoenix. I mean, a team like Phoenix running into the Warriors in the first round, like, are the Warriors really not the favorite? Are Phoenix really the favorite? And
Healthy Phoenix is 4-1 in
4-1. Okay.
4-1.
Okay.
4-1. Probably like 2 of them games gonna be 20-point blowouts.
Okay. Okay.
when your center is Jordan Tuscaloosa, that's your center. Kevon Looney, that's your center.
Okay.
Your wings, Kelly Oubre be getting hurt too. No, they going to go first round, bro.
Okay.
It's fun to watch, and Steph going to have 35 and have a couple close games, and we'll think like, oh my God, they're going to pull it off. Nah, not happening.
Okay.
I think if Phoenix get their chemistry together, if they can stay locked in together, they could go to conference finals.
Let me ask you this: if Utah goes to the conference final, is Spider a superstar?
No.
Ooh.
They're doing it by committee, bro. It's committee. It's a team thing.
Okay.
He could not have 30 and they can still win.
Okay. No. They can go.
He could not have a good game and they'll still win.
They can go to the conference finals.
He cannot have good games and they can still win. Yes.
And
all he has to do is his job is very easy. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. His job is very easy.
His job is not easy.
All he has to do, he just has to score. To be in the score on a team and you can score, your job becomes easy.
Score.
I can insert. He doesn't do more than score.
Yes, he does. What's wrong?
What does he do? What does he do except for score? He don't pass the ball
every night, and he runs.
Don't pass. He don't run the offense. Mike Conley runs the offense. Joe Ingles run the offense. There's nothing in the cards of Utah that says Donovan Mitchell runs the offense. He don't pass. He only had 2 10 assist games his whole career.
He don't pass?
No, he does not pass. No. He's looking to shoot the ball. He averaged the second most shot attempts in the NBA.
So what? That don't mean that he don't pass.
I watch the games. He don't pass the ball. He don't average. He don't have no assists or anything. Like, where does it say? What does anything say?
From a person that said that they run the best sets, they run sets.
They run offense. He don't pass the ball.
But he don't pass the ball?
No, he doesn't pass the ball. No.
What are you talking about? Somebody help this.
Okay, March 7th, he had 4 assists. March 3rd, he had 6. His high assist for February was 8.
So
does he really pass the ball?
So if you got 8 assists, you don't pass?
Out of all those games, Mike Conley only played 1 of those games, bro.
All right, so who was passing the ball?
Joe Ingles, all the other dudes on the team.
Ingles got the ball, then that means he passed the ball.
He does not pass the ball. Yo, he shoots the ball.
Don't make sense.
Okay, he shot 12 for 34, 7 for 21, 10 for 19, 11 for 26, 4 for 16, 8 for 17, 12 for 27, 9 for 22, 9 for 24. He shoots the ball a lot.
Oh, what? That don't mean
that's what he does. He shoots the ball.
He don't mean he don't pass. He also plays defense.
He don't play defense.
Yeah, he do play. You just said Utah plays defense.
Utah plays defense because Rudy Gobert protects the rim. He doesn't play defense.
I can't.
You know who their best defender is?
Talking about right
Who's
now.
Utah best defender?
Say what?
Who's Utah best defender?
O'Neal. No, Gobert's
Royce O'Neal is the best perimeter defender. Royce O'Neal gets all the best players.
Then Donovan.
Donovan don't guard anybody at that.
Oh gosh, now you
if I got the best player, who else is there for you to guard?
Do you know how deep the guards is in the West? You cannot just not guard every night.
So Mike Conley don't guard those guys?
All of them guys guard.
Mike Conley guards a forward now, right?
You win your matchup, don't you?
Royce O'Neal guards everybody, bro.
Win your matchup, don't you?
Royce O'Neal guards everybody. Then Joe Ingles guards people too. You don't gotta go out there and guard anybody.
You telling me Ingles is a better defender than Donovan?
Joe Ingles has to guard people. Donovan Mitchell says that's not his job.
Question.
No, what I'm saying is that's not his job. I think Joe Ingles might be a better defender than Donovan. Yes.
So I'll answer that question.
Yes, Joe Ingles might be a better defender than Donovan. Yes.
Answer me.
He gets more steals than him. He defends better than him. Yes.
He's a better defender than Donovan.
Yes.
Boy, you know what? Whatever rehab, we need to get him there. We need to get him there. I don't know what you talking about. I don't know what you over there doing, but you better stop. You better stop it tonight. You tripping hard. There's no.
Donovan Mitchell don't guard anybody. He doesn't have to guard anybody. That's not his job.
What are you talking about?
His job is to go score and to close the games out. That's his job.
All right.
If he doesn't do his job, sometimes they still win.
Oh, now they still. Oh, he don't do it, but sometimes they still win. They got the best record in the NBA. This is the.
I just ran through game logs of Donovan Mitchell. Right? You don't like numbers. That's what you don't like.
Standard that he's going throughout this season. And let's be real. For the last 2 years, I've been saying, "Yo, this boy is a superstar. This boy is balling. He better than y'all. A lot of guards that y'all like. He's better than them already. I've been saying that for years.
Who he better than Chip?
Say what?
Who he better than?
Name me a two guard. Name me one of your favorite two guards.
Who he better than?
Name one of your favorite two guards.
Bradley
Yeah.
Bill's better than he is.
Bradley Bill better than him. Jamal Murray's better than him.
Who?
McCollum's better than him.
All right.
Jamal Murray might not be better than him.
I seen Jamal Murray average 50.
Jamal Murray not better than him. You tripping?
Yeah, but you've also seen Jamal Murray not average 50, and I think Spider averaged 50 in the same
Donovan
series.
Mitchell averaged like 45. They both averaged 45.
So that whole thing was a fluke.
That's
All
why
right,
I said they right there. They right there together. They right there together. I
We need
can't.
to
Going right now.
we need to wrap this up, fellas.
And what he doing right now? He killing. He thrashing right now. And well, I ain't gonna say we.
Is he really killing? Is that killing?
He killing.
Is average 24 points a game? Is killing?
Yeah. They winning.
So everybody killing it.
No, you winning.
40 dudes who average 20 points in the NBA.
You gotta win.
It's 40 dudes who average 20 points. He's winning because of committee.
Points. I'm curious to know how many points he averaged in the fourth quarter.
I don't know.
Curious to know that. I'm curious to know that.
Scooter, you can go ahead and sign us off here. This is
All right, let's get out of here because it is late. All right, y'all. We appreciate everybody for checking out the Check Rock podcast, y'all. We enjoyed y'all. We're gonna start hitting y'all with we're gonna try to start doing two at a time as soon as the NBA All-Star break is over. We're gonna get y'all out of here though. What we do, Chip, here.
We Check Rock, man. Check it up.
All right. Appreciate all y'all for checking it out. And we're gonna hit y'all with another podcast later this week. We'll see y'all later. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Make sure y'all check Rock.